Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of starting off with our read aloud, we're going to go straight to putting our eyes on the focus board. So put your eyes up there. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, Soraya, what is our purpose for reading today?
Today our purpose for reading is to learn how to compare and contrast.
Perfect. So today our purpose for reading is to learn how to compare and contrast. So yesterday we were introduced to those two words, compare and contrast. And in second grade Eagles have to be able to do something. And this is what we're going to be able to do. First, we're going to be able to compare and contrast characters, settings, and events in a story. And then this is our end goal right here. This is, by the time we get finished with this unit, we will be able to compare and contrast two similar stories, or two stories that are the same, but are written by different authors, okay? But before we can even get that, we have to know how to compare and contrast characters, setting, and events in one story, all right? Yesterday we learned how to compare and contrast two things. Today we're going to put it in a story and compare and contrast character, setting, and events in the story, okay? So keep that in mind. This is where we're at. This is where we're headed. Got it?
Got it.
Alrighty. I want to start off class today with this question. What does it mean to compare and contrast in a story? What does it mean to compare and contrast? Those are our two important words that we're focusing on. Denaria, what does it mean to compare? To see how things are what? Same. Perfect. And what does it mean to contrast? To see how things are what? Jossie?
Different.
Perfect. So seeing how things are the same and seeing how things are different. Excellent. Alrighty. I have a story today that I'm going to read to you. And it's called Same, but Different. Alright? Same, but different. And just by reading that title, I bet there are going to be some things in this story that are the same. And there are going to be some things in the story that are completely different. Okay? So when I'm reading this story, I want you to pay close attention to things that are the same and things that are different. Okay? There are two boys in this story, and they have some things that are similar and some things that are different. So I want you to pay close attention because at the end, we are going to compare and contrast. All right? Same, but different. Can y'all see that pretty good?
We can.
You good? All right. In art class, I painted a picture of my world. My teacher melted across the ocean. This is my world. A boy drew back with colors of the sea. This is my world. Same, but different. P.S. Who are you? Are you already seeing some similarities, how things are the same, and some differences? Yeah. Make sure you pop those in your brain, okay? Hold on to them. My name is Elliot, and I love to climb trees. My name is Kalish, and I love to climb trees too. Same, but different. Oh, I'm already seeing some similarities and some differences. Hold it in your brain, okay? If you have an idea, just grab it and pop it in your brain and hold it to the end, okay? That is my tree house where I play. I live in a red brick building with my mom, dad, and baby sister. I live with my family too. All 23 of us. My mom, dad, sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather, aunties, uncles, cousins. I wonder which family kind of reminds you of your family at home. Y'all love quiet you all are and how you're paying attention. Excellent. And our animals. I have pets too, but not nearly as many as you. Same, but different. P.S. What does it look like where you live? Jada, you look awesome. Caleb, you look awesome. A great river flows through my village. Peacocks dance under trees shaped like umbrellas. The sun is giant and especially hot here. In my city, the sun hides behind buildings as tall as the sky. Taxis, buses, and cars fill the streets. It is a big person. Here are a few cars and still too much traffic. Same, but different. I ride a bus to school with my friends. So do I. Same, but different. This is our alphabet. This is our alphabet. Oh goodness. So I guess everyone in the world doesn't use the ABC. Same, but different. My favorite class is art, where I can be anything. My favorite class is yoga, where I can be anything. Same, but different. This is how my friends and I say hello. And this is how my friends and I say hello. Same, but different. We're best friends. Don't let that distract you. Even though we live in two different worlds. Or do we? Do they really live on two different planets?
No.
Different, but the same. So they're in two different locations in the world. Alright, Jeremiah.
There was a repeated word in the book.
Which one were
Same,
they?
and different.
Excellent. So you remember that from a couple weeks ago when we were learning about repetition, huh? Alright, you like it? Alright, just self-check, make sure you are in a learning position. You're sitting up, you're scooted back, you're scooted in. Alright, so in the book Same but Different, there are several things about the two little boys that were the same, and there were several things about the little boys that were different. Alright, so we're about to compare and contrast the two boys. Alright, and yesterday we were introduced to a really cool graphic organizer that helps us to compare and contrast. Does anyone remember what that graphic organizer was? I got 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 6 people, and I know every one of you except for about 2 people were here yesterday. Trelell, do you remember what this is called? No, your hands up. Somebody help Trelell out. Keyshawn. A Venn diagram. Excellent. Kiss your brain. That was good. A Venn diagram. Perfect. Now let me see if Priscilla can get this to stay up here. Cross your fingers. Let's hope it'll stay. Perfect. Alrighty. So this is a Venn diagram, and whenever you see this graphic organizer line out, this is giving you a hint that hey, you can use me to help compare and contrast two things. All right? Now, who can remember how we use it? 'Cause there's a specific way you use a Venn diagram. All right? There are three parts. There's the outer circles, and then there's the one in the middle. Ariana, can you explain to us or remind us how we use a Venn diagram?
Compare and contrast two things. You put the differences on those two circles, and in the middle, you tell what to say.
Oh, that was an excellent answer. Good job. So like she was saying, you put the differences on the outside and you put the similarities on the inside. So we are going to compare the two little boys, Kalish and Elliot. Okay? So I'm going to put Kalish and Elliot on the inside?
No.
No, outside. All right. So Elliot's right here. I'm going to put him in green. And then Kalish. Is on the outside. I'm going to put him in orange. And then I'm going to put both, because that's the key word for similarities in the middle. So both. Alright. Now, hopefully when I was reading that story, you were putting all that information back in your brain to hold it, so now we can bring it out. So let's start with Elliot. Let's do the contrasting first. How they're different. So, what makes Elliot different from Kalish? And let me remind you, one person lives in America, one person lives in India. Alright, just in case you didn't catch that. So, does Elliot live in America or India? Brooke. I'm sorry, this is Elliot right here. This guy right here. Does he live in America or India? America, good. This right here, okay. So Elliot lives in America. So if Elliot lives in America, where does Kalish live, Lionel? India. Good. Now, what else makes Elliot different from Kalish? Malaysia. Speak up so everyone can hear you. Ooh, she said Kalish is an African American. Well, he's dark skinned, but since he's from India, he's Indian. Okay? So instead of African American, he's actually Indian because he's from India. But he is darker skinned, so I can see what you mean. He's African American. But he's actually Indian. And I'll just put dark because he is a little bit darker than Elliot. So what is Elliot then? What is his ethnicity? Lamar? He's American, good. But we can be American, but let's see. Hunter's American and Soraya's American, but they're different. So what was Elliot? He was white or Caucasian. Perfect. Alrighty. I hope I spelled that right. Okay. Let's look at this picture. How are these two things different? Ashlyn. Here's
One
Elliot.
has a tree house, one doesn't.
Perfect. Elliot has a tree house, and then what does Kalish?
He's on a branch.
Yes, perfect. So Elliot has a tree house. And Kalish just has branches. He climbs branches. That was good, Ashlyn. Oh, climbs branches. There we go. All right. What about their families? What makes their families different? Caleb? Alright, so Kalish's family has a lot of family members. He lives with 23, is that what it said? And then Elliot, he has a small family. He lives with 1, 2, 3 people. So Kalish has a large family. Elliot has if Kalish has a large family, Elliot has a small family. Good. Let's see. Oh. Hello, make sure your eyes are open. What about, what's also in Kalish's family? Cows and what else, Lionel? Sheep. What else? Darcy. What else, Jeremiah Williams? Goat. So Kalish also has a lot of farm animals. And did Elliot have farm animals? No. What did Elliot have? A dog. Was it a fish?
Yeah.
Yep, you were right. Good memory. I read the story. All right, so Elliot has a dog and fish. Zebra fish. All righty. What about the transportation, the traffic in both of their worlds? What was the difference in the traffic or the transportation? Brooke, what was the difference between the traffic and the transportation? What did Elliot have? What was his traffic made up of? Cars and taxis. And what about Kalish's, Grandma? Animals, or like carriages. So they rode on animals to get where they needed to be. So, cars, buses, taxis. Kalish had animals for transportation. I'm running out of room. Is there some up there? And one more. How did Elliot get to school, Denaria? How did he get to school? On a bus. How did Kalish get to school, Caleb? Like a bike carriage kind of thing? You're right. So we have us right here. And then we have a carriage right here. That would be pretty cool to go to school in a carriage, huh? Alrighty, so we just contrasted Elliot and Kalish. They have many differences, but now let's go ahead and compare them because they also have many similarities too. So where am I going to put the similarities at, Anna? In the middle. So what do both of them have? So whenever you answer their similarities, I want you to use this sentence stem. They both have or they both are. Okay? Because you're letting me know that this is what they have in common. This is what is the same. This is what's similar. Alright? Let me see. Caleb, what do they both have? Oh, wait. They both have. Good. They both have homes. Good. As long as there's a way to fix it. All right, Caleb Dixon, what else do they both have? They both, say it, they both have families. Good. Lamar? Oh, they both are boys. Soraya? They both have animals. Good. Lionel?
They both got,
Huh? They both live in, like, cities or towns? Good. Well, they're both boys, so same thing, boys people. One more, Mr. Williams.
They both get a ride to school.
They both get a ride to school. Good. So, you all did pretty good. I'm impressed. So you're just showing me now, based on all of this information that you all helped me put up here, you know how to compare and contrast character settings and events in a story. Good. Jossie, make sure I can see your eyes. All right. Perfect, perfect. Now, so because we're able to do this, we can take that next step forward and go ahead and start working on comparing and contrasting two similar stories written by the same author. And we're going to do that within the next few days, okay? Raise your hand. Okay. All right, so really quickly, let's go over our question one more time. What does it mean to compare and contrast in a story? What does it mean to compare and contrast? I should see everyone's hands up, because you all just showed me you know what it means. What does it mean to compare and contrast, Raymond? To see how things are what? And different. Does anybody know why that's important? Does anybody know why is it important to compare and contrast in stories? Why is it important, Anna? Yeah, there are several stories that are written that are similar and that have things in common, but they're also different. Okay, so we have to be able to recognize when things are alike and different. Okay? All right, because in our life we have lots of things or things in common with other people and many differences with other people. Alrighty? So now I want you to think. I want you to compare and contrast yourself with one of the characters, okay? So I want you to pick either Elliot or Kalish. And I want you to find one similarity, one thing that's the same about you two. And then I want you to find one difference, one thing that is different with you and that character, okay? So make that connection. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper. Caleb Dixon's going to come around and pass out the pencils quickly. Put your name on it. Put your name on it. It doesn't matter which way. It's probably easier for you to write it this way. Alright, so on your piece of paper, your name goes on it. And I want you to write two words on there. Compare. And what's the other one going to be? What?
Contrast.
Contrast. So I want you to write your name. And then I want you to write compare and contrast on there. Thank you. Alright. Put compare and contrast on there. Alright, now I want you to pick which character are you going to compare and contrast yourself with? And once you pick that, oh, I forgot you. I'm sorry. Come on now, sit correctly. Wait, look, your feet are under his step. corner. Write it here in the corner where I have a circle. Write it here in the corner where I have a circle. Are you going to compare and contrast yourself with Elliot? Or are you going to compare and contrast yourself with Kalish? Once you have that, now I want you to write one thing that is the same about you and that character, and one thing that is different. One thing that is the same, and one thing that is different. Where are you going to write your similarity, where something is the same? Are you going to write it with compare or contrast? Say it out loud. What is it? Compare. And where are you going to write your different? Under contrast. If you need help spelling something, ask your neighbor quietly, or you can raise your hand. Don't give up. If you need help, you need to let me know that you need help. I can't read your mind. But you are going to try. Got it? So when you got your thought in your mind, you let me know, and I'll come over here and help you. Just came back. Tell me, what's something that's the same about you and Elliot? You're both American. Mariah's writing in a complete sentence. We both have pets. I love what I see so far under the comparison. You're saying we both have, so that's showing me that you both have something in common. So you're both American. Oh, good. That's really good. And don't forget, when you're doing your difference, you have to say what Elliot or Kalish has and what you don't have, or what they are and what you are not. We're not comparing both of them. What about you? What do you and Elliot have that's the same? You both are... You don't know him. He's not your friend. You both are what? There's something I can see right now that you both... Thank you. You both are boys. So, what did I say? What? Lead. What's the word I'm looking for? What's that beat word I'm looking for? We blank are boys. You both. We both are what? Good. Now, I want you to think of a difference. What's something about Elliot that's different from Jeremiah? What's something about Jeremiah that's different from Elliot? He has a what? Oh, he rides a carriage to school? Okay, and what do you ride to school? Good. So, oh no, Elliot doesn't ride a carriage to school. Elliot lives in America. Okay, so, but you also ride a bus, so that's the same. Think of something that's different. Think of the families, think of... Has a mom and dad, so what do you have? You just live with your mom. Okay, so, Elliot lives with who? With mom and dad. But I live with who? Mom. Good. I live with mom. You need some help? So you do need help. Pretty sure. Perfect. So you both are boys. You're the same because you're both the boys, but you're different because Elliot lives with his mom and dad, and you just live with your mom and your brother. And your sister. All right. Who are you comparing and contrasting yourself with? Kalish? So it's my friend from India. All right. So you're comparing. That means how things are what? How things are. Things are what? Same or different? If you were comparing things. So what is something that's the same about you and Kalish? Oh, you have boys on there? So you're both boys? Okay. What about contrast? How you are different? What's something about Trillell that is different than Kalish? Think about that now. Go back to that. What's something about you that's different from Kalish? No, Kalish wasn't white. He was the one from India. Think about his family. Think about where he lives. Think about how he goes to school, what he does at school. Think about, it can be, but in this book